Continuing today's story, yesterday's story. So you will recall. Have a good day. You will recall the story that the Baal Shem Tov sent one of his youngest Talmidim, Rabbi Moishe was his name. He sent him to one of his senior great Talmidim, the renowned Chaim HaKohen Rappaport, who has descendants today. I'm not sure, the Rappaport Toronto could be, I don't know, no idea. The Gutniks are descendants of him. At any rate, so remember the mission was on a certain Wednesday in Tammuz to go to a certain forest and to stop where you see the image of the Baal Shem Tov, and it turns out that there's like ruins of an old former house here, and they're to learn 4 hours. I'm sorry, not 4 hours. You should learn the first 4 chapters of Hilchos Brachos of the Rambam, and any chidushim he has, he should write down. Which he did. And meanwhile, the Moishe Meshel was thirsty, and he and the wagon driver went to look for water and found a spring and drank some water. And they came back to the Baal Shem Tov, and that later, the end of the summer, Elul, rather, that's when they came back. The Chaim Rappaport at least came to the Baal Shem Tov, and the Baal Shem Tov explained the mystery. First, the Chaim Rappaport thanked the Baal Shem Tov, because since that day, his mind and heart opened on a whole new level. You realize that that's in the schus of some great tzaddik that he was somehow connected to at the time he was sitting and learning there. And the Baal Shem Tov told him that it's already 117 years that this neshama awaits its redemption. I told you briefly the story of this person who was a very, very, very great, brilliant man of Talmud Chacham, but he completely rejected the divinity of it all and mocked it, and he just liked the intellectual pursuit of Torah. It took 117 years for his neshama to be cleansed. And the final cleansing had to be a Jew like Reb Chaim Rappaport to come to this place and learn the laws of brachas, of all things. Brachas talking about Hashem. Baruch Atah, Yehi Shmei Rabba. And be machadish, and have innovations, because he was a brilliant scholar. But it's all the Shem Shamayim in the egoless way. So this was the tikkun for the completely arrogant and self-serving to the point of completely dismissing and ignoring Hashem. This was the tikkun finally for this neshama. And his story, as I told you, and his name, and his father, and the whole thing is all described at length in the Kutei Diburim. But then something else happened. The Baal Shem Tov said, so that's what you did. And Baal Shem Tov now thanks Rabbi Chaim Rappaport for successfully completing the tikkun of this neshama. And therefore you merited your own mind and your own heart to open up on a level you never experienced before. But there was another great shlichus, says the Baal Shem Tov, that you accomplished on that Wednesday summer morning in the forest. And you remember the story, how it was so difficult to get there. It took a whole day to get there. It was a very short journey. Why? Obviously because anything that is worthwhile, there's resistance. That's how God made the world. So God made all this resistance, and yet they overcame it, and the mission was achieved. But another great mission was achieved. It says in Zohar, said the Baal Shem Tov, that from the time that Hashem separated the upper waters and lower waters on the second day of creation, Mayim tachtonim boichim, the lower waters are crying, and they say, Anon be'inan lemehevekod malka kadisha. We too want to be close to the Holy King. The upper waters are in the heavens. We mean this all baruchnius, but it also manifested begashmius. So the upper waters are in the heavens, and the lower waters are here in the subterranean channels of the world. And they cry, we too want to be before the Holy King. So I just want to tell you that Nisuch HaMayim, the pouring of the water, Simchas Beis HaShe'eva, is, what's the big simcha there? Is the lower waters finally being elevated. This is all expressive of the Dirib Tachtonim and the elevation of this world. But quite literally, said the Baal Shem Tov. This is literal now, because it's all manifestation of spiritual, of Nitzutz Kedusha. That all of the well springs and the springs and the fountains of the world, that Hashem created, which is the result of separating between the upper waters and lower waters, they want to be elevated. How so? When the Jew does with them a holy, uses them for a holy purpose, like washing the hands before davening, immersion as a mikveh, where it's an obligation, that would be a woman or tahara, a man would use it to bring greater purification. It's the preparation for learning and davening, washing the hands with the bracha, or drinking it and making a bracha before and after. Said the Baal Shem Tov, from the time Hashem created the world and separated between the upper waters and lower waters, so the lower waters are crying, you want to be before, we want to be one with, united with Hashem, to be used as an object of a mitzvah. And this cry, said the Baal Shem Tov, can continue unabated for hundreds and thousands of years until a Yid will come and pass by there and wash his hands and make a bracha until his sedoyim, or drink it for his thirst and make a bracha before and after. So in this forest, which was near the estate of this Jew, was this a well, a spring, that it's already 5,519 years. That was the time then. That it's crying and waiting and saying, why is my portion lama nigara, from all of the springs and wells in the world, that since God created me, no one has made a bracha over me, and no one has used me, my waters, for holiness and purity. And that day, you elevated and saved, quote unquote, the spring as well. Said the Baal Shem Tov to Reb Chaim. You see, Reb Chaim also drank from it. That you drank from its waters, and you washed your hands before you davened mincha. Now the Rebbe told the story at the Fabrengen. He told briefly. He took this, and he talked about every Yid having his neshama, this fountain of living divine water, and every Yid has it. And it's only our job to dig away at the external rocks and soil, and to reveal the fountain of living waters. And if you encounter a Yid and you're trying to inspire, and you haven't been, it's only because you have not, the method, your shovel perhaps is rusty and not pure, maybe some agenda. And the words in the heart are not sincere and deep enough. And if they will be, and the other Jew feels that there's no agenda on your behalf, and there's not that you're judging and looking down, and he somehow a means by which to you to get your ticket to wherever you want to go, but rather you truly objectively mean him, and your love is sincere, then no matter what external covering on the living well of water, you will reach through it and reveal the Be'er Mayim Chayim, the well of living water. It only depends on the one who digs on us. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Good to see you all. You can unmute yourselves.
Have a great day.